You don't feel unfulfilled because you haven't achieved enough. You feel it because you've been building your business without the one ability that actually tells you what you're here to do. And almost no one is teaching you how to use it. Hi, and welcome to the You World Order Showcase podcast, where we feature life, health, transformational coaches, and spiritual entrepreneurs stepping up to be the change they seek in the world. I'm your host, Jill Hart, the coach's alchemist, on a mission to empower coaches and entrepreneurs to amplify their voice, monetize their mission, and get visible. If you're ready to start attracting premium clients without chasing algorithms or hunting people down like a banshee on a mission, head over to coachesalchemist.com and schedule your free client acquisition audit. It's the first step to building a business where your clients seek you out rather than you having to hunt them down. Today, we are chatting with Carrie Cardozo. Carrie is a master psychic leader, master healer, and best-selling author known as the Psychic Psychic. She works with high-level entrepreneurs and leaders to activate their intuitive and psychic gifts, help them align their businesses with deeper purpose, fulfillment, and impact. Welcome to the show, Carrie. It's great to have you with us.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
All right, let me ask you the big question. Are you ready?
Yes.
What's the most significant thing, in your opinion, as individuals we can do to make an impact on how the world is going?
So, in my experience, and I think this is one of the best questions that you can ask somebody, is that every single person that I've ever met, I have a 100% success rate on this, has a psychic ability that they should be tapping into, they should be understanding, they should be activating, and then embodying it into not just their life, but their work, their soul's work. And this is something that I am so passionate about. And again, this is what I teach people to do and how to actually use their gifts.
I love that. And as you're talking, I'm over here looking at your aura. It is one of my psychic gifts, and I
Yeah.
don't use it very often because I forget about it because I
Yeah.
have to kind of like shift in. And yours is kind of a bluish color today. Don't ask
Aw.
me what it means. Just it's just what I see. And I
Uh,
think they do change from day to day.
Our auras, yeah, they definitely do. Yeah.
Isn't
Yeah.
it weird how you can have psychic gifts and then you can even know about them, but you forget about them?
Yeah,
And you don't.
I've seen that with my clients. My clients will message me and they'll be like, "Well, what do I do regarding this?" And I'm like, "Channel on it." It's literally my favorite thing to say to people. And my clients, I have a coffee mug that says that. I have a t-shirt that says it because so many psychics forget that you have these incredible gifts. I personally don't forget because this is my job. My job is to be a psychic 24/7, and I am. I actually don't shut my gifts off. They're always on. So I have a different insight. I live the world life through the world a little bit different than most people do. It's just how I am. But I remind people every day. I'm like, girl, you're a psychic. Like, just ask. Just ask the question. Like if you see something, ask about it energetically. Ask, and you'll get the answer. So yeah.
And it happens every single time, but I recently I put out a question and asked for some signs, like three
Yeah.
signs. And within the hour, I got two of them, and I asked for them to happen within 72 hours. And the last one waited, I swear it was the 72nd hour. But it showed up. And so again, it's the if it doesn't show up right away, we forget about it.
Yes.
And when it did show up, I was like, oh yeah, I had asked that and I was waiting for that third one, but I had
Yeah.
forgotten.
Yeah, and even sometimes I've had this experience with people that they're like, I asked for a sign and I saw this, but I didn't trust it, so I asked for another one. And I'm like, how many signs are you gonna ask for? Like which is the one? But it's funny how amazingly quick the universe can work. Because there's times like I can hear my guides, I can get the information at all times, but sometimes I'm always like, give me a sign. I was going to purchase this very expensive cat last year around this time. And I was like, just give me a sign because I know this is what I want, but is it in alignment? Like, I want to know it's perfectly aligned. You keep saying, yes, go ahead, buy it. Yes, go ahead, buy it. But I want to know it's perfectly aligned. I got in my car, drove out of my driveway. I live in a very woodsy area. And as I was driving, a bobcat stood in front of my car in the middle of the road and stared at me. And I was like, wow, that was so cool. And as I got to the end of the road, I was like, wait a second, I just asked for a sign. And the cat that I was getting is a pixie bobcat. That's literally what it
Huh?
was called. So I was like, okay, I got it. I got it. I'm getting this cat. But we forget, like in 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes, I had forgotten that I was like, show me a sign, just give me something fun. So because we get living our life and we get caught in these patterns, and so our job is to interrupt these patterns so that we can see these signs, hear the communication from the universe, and actually use it.
And do you help people trust their messages? Is that
Yeah. So when I work with people, I get to see what their unique gifts are and how they should be using them and how to bring them in their business. But a huge part, which this may resonate with you, I think that it resonates with almost every psychic and humans in general, but with psychics, it's a different level because we can get signs, we can hear, we can see, we can activate our gifts. But then it's a whole different level. That's like step one is activating your gifts. Step two is trusting what you get and trusting that, like, you didn't make it up, that you heard correctly, that you're right in what you're hearing, that the universe is right, that you're not being led astray. So, a huge part of our work is learning how to trust because here's the thing, psychic guidance and signs from the universe is all on trust. All of my psychic guidance that I get is like, hey, trust this, take action on it, give this information to other people, start the process, and then you'll see results. It's not, let me validate this for you before you actually do anything. It is, take this, say yes to this deal, say no to that deal. This is what you need to understand. You have to follow it before there's actual proof. Then you get the proof. Now, we can still give proof. Like I can do a reading on somebody, tell them all about themselves or all about a friend or all about their business. And that's very validating. But I work with 7 and 8 figure entrepreneurs, and I've been in situations where I've told people don't take a multi-million-dollar deal, let go of this client, you like stop promoting this offer, just things that will drastically change their life, drastically, a total business switch. And there's no physical proof that this is what they should do because the numbers make sense for what they were doing. So the change feels very intense. I have to really trust myself in order to be able to do that. And so trust is a huge thing. So I work with my clients day in and day out. But the universe is really cool because it will always show us proof. I was talking to one of my clients today and she's like, I just don't know. Like, am I fighting this? Is this just a weird period of time for me? She said, I want to leave this place I'm in. And I heard Tuesday, but I was like, nope, I'm going Monday. And then everything fell apart. And then Tuesday got messed up and I missed my train. Like, what am I doing? I'm like, you literally just aren't listening. They said, go Tuesday. And you were like, no, it works better for my schedule to go Monday. The universe doesn't care if it works better for your schedule. That's just your human response to it. And so, what happens is that the guidance we often get can be very uncomfortable. It stretches you, it forces you to trust, it forces you to have patience, it forces you to recognize your limiting beliefs, stay in an uncomfortable situation just for a little while longer, and our human resists that. So we work on deactivating those human triggers, that human response, and connect people deeper in with their inner truth so that they can actually follow the information that they are actively getting from the universe, from their guides, from their soul.
how would you say that people should set up their well, let me ask it this way. Do you encourage people to have a daily practice and what would that look like?
Yeah, I do. I do, especially as energy workers. So I do psychic. I teach psychic development. I use my gifts in my business, but I'm also a master healer. And as a healer, the reason a lot of psychics as well and healers get burnt out, they can't do as many sessions, they're tired, mediums get caught in low vibrational energy is because they're not managing their energetics. And so for my psychics and everybody who's in my community, I teach them to have a morning practice. Not only do I have a morning practice, I also have an evening practice of something that I do at the end of the day. And I am aware of my energetics all time during the day. So I make sure that the only thing that's on my energy is the stuff that I allow or I want, and mostly it's just mine. And I also make sure that I'm raising my vibration at every time. So in the morning, I have my psychics, I teach my psychics to do like energy hygiene. So looking at your energy, clearing your energy, aligning your chakras, grounding yourself, connecting yourself in. Also, have encouraged my psychics to connect with their guides or the universe or their soul, whatever feels correct every single day. And I actually created this super simple like 10-minute psychic development journal that you do twice a day. You do it in the morning and you do it in the evening. It's on Amazon. It's like $11. And it walks you through the process to not just have a ritual that will support you at any level of your psychic development, but it also, if you want to start your psychic practice, it's a great place to learn how to actually tap in. It walks you through the process. And this is just something you repeat morning and night every single day. And so that's what it is, a must if you are working at a high level as a psychic or energy worker or anybody who's in that realm. Even, even a healer who doesn't work with energy should be doing some of these things.
I, I love this because healer and not working with energy, that like it doesn't
It doesn't go, but
it
it but
doesn't
it's
go
what
together.
exists. I know. I
I
agree.
know,
I
I
agree.
understand there are people out there that are like,
Yes.
I'm a healer, but energy doesn't come into it. Well, I'm sorry, honey.
Yes.
Everything is energy, so yes, it
Yeah,
does.
and I think all healers should learn how to work with energetics. Otherwise, you're only healing a part of the person. You're only working with an aspect of them. You're not doing the full. We have to work with all five aspects of humans, or they will not, the healing isn't lasting. It's just not. Yeah.
Yeah, it just won't take.
Yeah.
Which is okay. So I've been struggling with this issue with my arm and my foot. The foot is
Yeah.
healing, but the arm thing has just been like plaguing me forever. And I've done all the normal human things. Like I did actually go to the doctor,
Yeah.
even though I know every time I go to the doctor, they don't give me any information.
Yeah.
They just irritate me more. And
Yeah.
I went to the chiropractor who's a little more, he does acupuncture. So I was feeling like, maybe we could open some of the meridians and stuff up. And I think that just irritated the situation like three times. And it's worse now than before I started. And I know this has been going on for 6 months, and I went through a really big thing with my dad. I went and stayed with him. So I know that this is all an energy thing.
Yeah. It's all
And
heart space stuff.
I'm sorry.
It's all heart space stuff. I would look at your
Yes.
heart space. Yeah. Yeah, it's all heart space stuff. And you're right. Every single thing that's going on with inside the body is energetics. And what happens is we get messages from our soul, and then we get messages from the universe. And then our body is finally like, hey, you're not listening. So when it reaches our body is like, I've been saying this to you. Everyone's been giving you messages, but here, this will actually stop you because now it's hindering you. Whatever it is, it's interfering with your life in order for you to look at it. When it gets to the body, most of the time people go to a doctor and go to that, and oftentimes they don't get an answer. And so then we want to go back to, well, what is it actually connected to? And so in your case, it is connected to the heart space. And I would also look at your ability to receive. And in that space of ability to receive is overgiving. Look at where you also overgive, and that when you start working on that, as well as pushing the energy from opening your heart space, pushing the energy from your heart space down your arms and out the palms of your hand, slowly doing that, it will start to open it and it will clear this block that you have that actually goes into like the center of your chest as well. It'll clear it all the way down and out the palm. But it'll also show you where to like switch, like allowing yourself to receive from people, allowing yourself to be taken care of, to be nurtured, because that's part of what is going on with inside your shoulder. But when we can look at the energetics, we get a clear idea of like, okay, what do I need to do differently? What should I shift? What is a belief that I hold that is not serving me? And as well as like the emotions attached and then the energetic. And oftentimes there's a spiritual lesson within it as well. There's something our soul is asking of us to be aware of. So that's what I would look at.
It all makes total sense. And I really appreciate you taking the time to go through that for me.
You're welcome.
And it's there's an awareness that people need to have around things happening as we perceive as humans to us, but they're really happening for us, as
Yeah.
annoying as they may be.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree that every single thing that's happening is showing you something that you get to, if you so choose, adjust or embody or take action on or start living with inside your life. The universe is this beautiful place that we live in that's always responding to us. So if we don't like the feedback that we're getting, we don't like the situation, we can change it in a matter of, for some people, it can be a matter of a moment. You can change something. And for other things, it can take a little bit longer, but it's all for our growth. We're living in a world that is helping us to become more conscious, more aware of ourselves, and more powerful. Because you ultimately, like when you realize that you are in control of everything in a roundabout way, not in a controlling way, but in a perceiving way, in a responding way, it just changes your entire world. Literally changes your entire world.
I it happens every single time. I mean,
Yeah.
we as humans like to project how we think things should go, but I find that if we can just relax into the experience we're having and accept it, we
Mhm.
can see the bigger gifts in the process, which, going back to your person who wanted to do the move on Monday instead of
Yeah.
Tuesday. Well, why not just have the experience that's laid out before you and see where that goes?
Yeah. Yeah. And I know it's so much easier for a lot of people said than done because what's happening is that most people, although they believe that they're living life through their soul, and I'll give you a way of helping you to understand or helping people to understand whether they actually are living a life through the aspect of their soul. But most people believe that they are, when in reality, they're living through an aspect of their human. And when we learn to live life, when we learn to let go as a human and live life through the aspect of our soul, and again, I want to be clear, we're not totally releasing your human. Like your human characteristics make you super unique as well. But we want to make sure the human's not driving the bus. We want to make sure the soul's driving the bus because the human oftentimes has limiting beliefs and fears and triggers and all of those, beautiful things that are part of life. But when you're living life through soul, life just becomes so much easier. And here's my thing. Lots of people promote, they're like, oh, my soul told me to do this, and my soul wants to do this. And if you are that connected to your soul, then you also should have psychic abilities because your soul communicates with you through energetics. Psychics read energy. That's literally all psychics are doing is they're able to understand, receive, and translate energetics. So if you truly are deeply connected to your soul, you should be deeply connected to your psychic gifts because the soul also communicates through an energetic frequency. And most people don't. Most people don't. They're not doing that. It's an aspect of their human. It's a voice in their head that they hear, and oftentimes it's an aspect of human. And so as we're on this journey here of life, our journey is really to allow our soul to live, allow our soul to have that consciousness, to reconnect back to pure consciousness and have those experiences that we're supposed to experience and be able to navigate them, let go of the human desire to navigate them and tap into the soul desire. And as we do that, you start to activate your psychic senses. You start to be able to communicate with energy. The source consciousness is just an energy. everything is energy. We communicate with the other side through energetics. And so it is really about tapping into your psychic senses, even if you don't want to call them psychic senses, you don't have to. I call myself psychic for a reason. And so, this beautiful journey is about opening your psychic gifts so that you can have these beautiful experiences. And you can see, like, when you tap in, you see the clear difference when your human responds versus when your soul responds. And you can witness them in that same moment, literally in the same moment. The other day, I had a friend reach out to me and she was like, "Hey, you want to go to Cabo with me? I have a +1." And I was like, "Yes, Cabo?" Like to myself. She had texted me. I was like, "Oh my God, yeah. Who doesn't want to go to a beach? It's not been warm here yet." Even though I have multiple companies, I was like, I can work this out. I heard very clear, and I knew that was my human, like wants to go to the beach. Heard very clearly, it's not going to happen. It's not aligned. No. And I was like, ugh. So I said to her, and I could see very clearly, here's my human is like, yes, I want to go. And my soul's like, absolutely not. And so I was like, let me think about it. Let me look and I'll get back to you. The next day, she messaged me and she's like, it just doesn't feel in alignment. I'm going to go. I need to work on my business, so I'm not going to go. And my guides were literally like, we told you. See, like, no. So, like, even though my human wanted to go, we get to have this experience. We get to say, my human is like, yes, and my soul's like, it's not going to happen. No. And I wasn't sad because I have a beautiful life. I love my life, but it's a very clear distinction between the human desires and the soul desires. And in lots of places, those line up, especially when we get rid of our fears and stuff like that. But the more people are able to tap into that soul aspect and the soul desires and the soul purpose and that communication with energetics, the more amazing life gets to be on all levels, not just success and a beautiful life and money, but you also feel this level of fulfillment that is unattainable any other way. I'm sorry, but I work with 7 and 8 figure entrepreneurs, people who make $150 million a year, and they will still say to me that they have never been fulfilled until they start tapping into their soul and what they're here to actually do. The money does not fulfill them. They thought it would, it doesn't. And I think that's like the whole purpose of life, the whole meaning of it.
Yep. Money is money is just a tool and it doesn't actually exist.
Yeah,
Even though we get all wound up in it on the human side, if you could just like shift over a little bit and realize that if you're listening to your soul is going to guide you, but it's hard. How do you
it is.
tell people to like what is one piece of advice you could give someone who's struggling with that? Maybe they've heard about guides and they're going through the awakening, which is not all sunshine and roses, let me tell you. Even though you think that, I'm going to go through
Not.
the awakening and I'm going to have this Kundalini experience and it's going to be amazing. And then you find yourself like it's the worst experience ever in the middle.
Yeah, it can be
Really
super
nice on the other
challenging.
side.
Yeah. Yeah, so here's what I would offer, and here's a lot of what I do with my clients is that it is so normal to have these really powerful human experiences where we're resisting things, something happens in life that we don't like even as a psychic and somebody who gets to see, I get to see the future, but I also get to see what's going to happen that I'm not going to like. I always do. And so when those things happen, feel the feels. Like I know a lot of spiritual people are like, no, it's bad to feel bad and I don't want to stay in this energy. I'm inviting you into that energy. Feel the feels. Do not fight the emotions. Experience them. Like let your human have its moment. Get into that because otherwise you're just resisting it and what you resist becomes stronger and it starts to control you. So feel the feels. Then we want to dive into why do you have these feelings? Why are you resisting? Why is this so uncomfortable for you? And get to the root cause of it, not just because I don't like it. Cool, why don't you like it? What other times did this happen that you didn't like? So it's asking all of these questions, these why questions and when questions to get to the root cause. And then when you find that, and it's just like I can see that, so I know how to lead people to it. But when you find it, actually untangle the energetics that it has caused. Anything that we are resisting, any struggle that we have, any limiting belief, it is tangled up in your energy. So we want to take that out of the energy. We want to untangle the energy. Some practices call it a samskara. It is an energy block. And so we have to energetically remove that. Then we have to start to retrain the human as like pathetic as that sounds and like almost like animalistic because we're training it. We do. We are creatures of habit and of patterns. And so we do have to remind ourselves like, oh, hey, I need to do this. Oh, hey, this is what I'm going to be doing. Change your thought patterns, understand why this happened, understand what life could be like after, and then start to explore trusting your guides, start to explore trusting your soul, start to communicate with them. The same way, like I explain it in my psychic development journal, how you can start just simply communicating with them. Then what you're going to do is like just give yourself this aspect. I always look at what's the worst that could happen. Like I think about the worst period of my life. And I'm always like, if I made it through that, like what's so bad about trusting my guides? What's so bad about trusting one piece of guidance? And we can do that in really small ways. People think it has to be really dramatic, but one of the ways you can trust your guidance, your soul, your guides, whoever you're communicating with, and they're all different, but is you can start small with like, what should I wear today? There was a period of time that I did that. I'm not a huge fashion person. I have lots of other things that I'm great at, but fashion's not my thing. So every single morning, I get shown what to wear. And when I first started doing this, people would compliment my outfit all the time. They would be like, oh my God, so aligned. We'd be like working on the heart space unbeknownst to me, they'd be like, oh my God, your shirt is just so perfect for heart space work. And I started to get all these compliments. It wasn't because I looked fantastic or anything like that. It was literally the universe being like, hey, you're listening and look at the response you're getting. It was confirmation that I was hearing correctly. Ask what you should have for dinner. Ask what order you should do your errands in, and then see how much ease comes into your life. This will start to program you to trust the guidance that you get. Use it in small things. Don't use it in what's my next business step that I should take in order to get the money to pay my rent that's due tomorrow, because that just brings so much stress. Bring it into something super easy, and then you will start to build that trust in order to be able to use it in any area of your life. So start asking these questions and trusting using them. And you'll know, like if you hear something like my client, she's like, I heard Tuesday, but I chose Monday. Pay attention to that. If you hear and then don't follow, it's actually the best gift ever. When you're practicing your psychic gifts, it's really important to get it wrong because in that case, she didn't listen and she was proven within hours that she was right. That Tuesday was right. So it's a really beautiful experience as long as you can say, "Oh wow, like I heard that, I ignored it. Something unfortunate happened. Therefore, when I hear that again, I'm going to pay attention to it." So that's such a beautiful way to practice, and anyone can practice that way. Super simple.
I love that. I think it has to do with slowing down a little bit. And I
Yeah.
also want and listening. Uh, You know, we as humans, we might take 5 minutes and tap into our higher selves and talk to our guides, and then 10 minutes later we forgot what we were doing,
Yeah.
or what we'd asked for, or the advice that came instead
Yeah.
of, taking a couple more minutes and just writing it down so we remember. Um, you have a community that you help people
Yeah.
kind of use their gifts. Just let me just tell you, ask you to share, and rather than me trying to guess.
Yeah. So I do. I have a free psychic community. It's called Psychic Elegance. And in this place, it's a place that you can join to get daily messages, guidance. They're always spot on, as well as meet other people learning to develop their psychic gifts, as well as it is a place where you can see all the different things that you could do in order to develop your psychic gifts. There's some free meditations inside of it. We just have this free community. So, and you can find that by searching Carrie Cardozo, connecting with me, send me a message. I can give you a link to it. It's completely free. Yeah.
And people can find you over on carriecardozo.com, where they
Hmm.
can actually take the quiz to find out. What's
Yeah, I
holding
have
you
a
back from your next psychic level?
yeah, I have a quiz that helps you to see how psychic you are and also like what you can do. It gives you a little bit of guidance as what you can do to reach your next psychic level. And that is on carriecardozo.com. And they can find me on any platform, just under Carrie Cardozo. Super simple.
Okay, so let me ask you, if someone listening right now feels that gap,
Mhm.
they've got success, but they're not fulfilled, what's the first step they can take to start reconnecting with that deeper alignment?
Yeah, one of the most important advice that I was given, and all my advice, I've never been taught by anybody except for my own guides. I've never worked with a single person on my own gifts. But one of the best advice I ever got from my guides was to stop listening to so many podcasts. And I know we're on a podcast, so I'm well aware of that. I also have a podcast, so I'm well aware of that. Stop reading books and start giving yourself ample time to just connect within. And when I mean connect within, like you said, people will do it for 5 minutes and then they go. No, spend a period of time. Like you can give yourself an hour to listen to a podcast that really lights you up or read a book. But the rest of the time, when you're driving, when you're washing dishes, when you're walking, when you're alone in your house, when you're thinking about something that you should do to build your business or your self development, one of the most profound things you can do is to sit in silence with nothing else except for yourself and connect into your heart space, which is where you will ultimately find the connection to your soul, not in your head. The more you can practice that, of getting out of that narrative that the head and the human keep giving you, and tap into that soul, which is inside the heart space, and just sit, you will hear so many profound things. And you'll also be able to really understand like who you are on a deeper level, as well as what's getting in the way, what do you need next, what do you actually desire. It's a way to really explore yourself. And this has been hands down by far the best thing I ever did on my own personal journey is to learn how to get out of the human and tap into the pure consciousness that we hold and the pure consciousness that we can connect to. It will totally change your life, but most people need to be distracted. They'll pick up the phone, they'll, scroll social media, they'll have to read, they'll have to do something, they'll have to clean the house to keep busy instead of just learning how to be still and be connected. Such a powerful first step.
It reminds me of that Bible verse. It's like where I think it was Elijah looking for the still small voice to not in all the big things going on. It's in the quiet. It's
Yeah.
in the just sitting and connecting and being. We are
Yeah.
actually human beings, not human
Yeah.
doings.
Instead of human doings and human thinkings and human overthinking. Yeah. The
Yeah.
brain does not help you when you're connecting to your soul or connecting to your psychic gifts. Remove the brain. I tell people all the time, I know very little, but I can connect to anything. I can give you the answer to anything. It's not because I know it, it's because I can tap into it.
Oh, that's so powerful. Thank you so much, Carrie,
Thank
for
you.
sharing all of your wisdom with us. And I really encourage people to connect with you so that they can connect with themselves.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. This is wonderful.
To learn more about Carrie and to find out what's holding you back from your next psychic level, be sure to take the quiz over at carriecardozo.com. And you'll also find ways to connect with Carrie over there as well. And we'll be sure to put the links in the show notes below. Thank you for joining us today. If you're ready to amplify your voice, monetize your mission, and start attracting premium clients, your next step is simple. Head to thecoachesalchemist.com and schedule your free client acquisition audit. Join us for our next episode as we share what others are doing to raise the global frequency. And remember, change begins with you. You have all the power to change the world. Start today. Get visible.